Last month, we shared a story about a New Hampshire man who found out that his good deeds had actually broken the law.
Daniel Mowry found himself in a pickle when he was sent a cease and desist letter from the Manchester, New Hampshire Health Department. That was after the department found out he was canning foods like jellies, tomatoes, along with bread and butter pickles at his home and giving them away at no charge. City Code says Mowry needed a permit to keep canning and distributing food, and his kitchen needs to be commercially licensed. Now here at KTIV, we did a little digging and discovered Iowa has specific laws about distributing food processed at home.
KTIV's Nathan Price has more on Iowa's cottage laws.
Cottage foods. While the term may seem unfamiliar to you, chances are you've seen and even tried them before, as they are popular in local farmers markets. Simply put, they're foods like jams and jellies, baked goods, and even candies that are prepared in a home kitchen and can be kept without use of refrigeration. With the popularity of these foods growing, selling them can prove very profitable if you follow your state's cottage food law. Understanding the law can be a challenge, so I reached out to Penny Brown Huber with Iowa State University Extension and Outreach to find out what Iowa's law says.
So in 2022, the legislature passed a bill that created this opportunity to create what is defined in food safety as shelf-stable products from your home kitchen. It's a relatively new law, and we have a lot of people interested in it. And it has a few requirements, not a lot, but a few, and including a label that they need to put on their products so a consumer will know what they're buying, basically. So it's really opened a lot of great opportunities for folks across Iowa.
One of the biggest opportunities is the chance to make extra money, as the law allows home food processors to make up to $50,000 a year in sales. Huber says several people have found success through these small businesses.
I work with a woman who started out making sourdough, selling at farmers markets out of her home oven. I think like she was maybe doing 8 to 10 max, right, out of her home oven. And her business took off, and she got a commercial oven, and she's doing like 30 loaves out of her home now, and can sell all of those. So it has a lot of potential.
So if you ever thought you'd like to try it out, you could stand to make some serious dough. In Sioux City, Nathan Price, KTIV News 4.
Huber says her office runs classes on home food processing, and she hopes to host a training course in Sioux City in the future.